Alright, no further about it. Let's get right into the action. It's been a while. Put my hand up. It's my fault. Too lazy. And I just can't be asked sometimes because... Well, I can't be asked. Anyway, I farted. No, I didn't. Shush. Yeah, so this is, I was going to tell, the wrestler, sorry, Mickey Rourke as, well, the wrestler in the film. Can't remember the names for the life of me, because I am just not prepared, you know. What are you gonna do? Yeah, basically it's about this faded wrestler played by Mickey Rourke, who starts getting old. You know, he starts getting old, and then what happens? This is not spoiler by the way. This, but he has a heart attack essentially. After a match, like a really rough, like an ECW match. You know, just fucking chairs and nails getting put into them, staples, glass, all that jack. You know. So what happens is he feels the effects after the match. I know. He feels the effects after the match. You know, he knows he's aging, so he tries for the life of him to put through it, but he doesn't. Throws up, has a heart attack, told he can't wrestle again, and he can't do any really like tough exercise. So what happens is that he tries to live a more normal life, working in a supermarket. Yeah. Turns out he has a daughter, which we don't know until sort of, but not, well, I suppose around about just before midway through. He has a daughter, so he tries to live the normal life by, you know, cleaning off the guilt that he has for not keeping up to date with her. And he goes on this sort of journey, and they get together, not that way. You know, they start bonding everything together. I'll not ruin it. No, talk about any more of that storyline, that arc, which is a good arc. It really humanizes as the character. Turning the if you're a football fan and you know Brendan Rodgers, you understand the whole character thing. So what I was going to say is that I'm getting on like him, you know, show good character in the game. To yeah, yeah. So it's a good arc. It really does humanize the character, and he ends up finding this. There's a lot of interest as well, which is actually a storyline that I do like as well. I don't like romance stuff. I hate it with a passion. It's not my forte. I hate it all. Some make it past my acceptance, I suppose you could say. Yeah, yeah. I don't know why I keep saying yeah. But she's basically, she's a stripper, and she's aging too. It's all aged together. Yeah. 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 So he tries to sort of, like, he does have feelings for her, so but he's really trying to actually make a thing, which I guess you can say became a thing. I'm not sure. It's kind of hard to tell, because nothing is said at all about, you know, like, oh, we're boyfriend and girlfriend, you know, nothing about that. It's just kind of like on the cusp kind of stuff. And yeah, so what happens is he ends up going the wrestling match. You know, he makes that mistake because everything fell apart. Um, Something happened with his daughter. I'm not gonna spoil it. She never died, so nothing to, you know, cry about. Um, then he's just like, what the fuck? I can't do this. If I wrestle and I die, I die. He goes in the wrestling match, and yeah, I'm not gonna spoil anything from there yet, because yeah, everything leading up to the final act. I'll spoil it from near the end of the video. Everything leading up to the final act of this film is superb. It's well acted and well edited. The pacing is great, and despite having to look at Mickey Rourke's distorted face, it is still amazing. What he did to pull off was great. And ironically enough, not ironically enough, Nicolas Cage could have been in the wrestler, but according to his words, Nicolas Cage's words, he couldn't pull off that body that Mickey Rourke had, which wasn't anything special. Hey, it's the truth. I think he probably could have, but Nicolas Cage was in this. Would the film been as good? I don't think so. And that's saying something. Cause I'm a big fan of Nicolas Cage. I'm not saying it would have been shit, but I don't know. There was just something that Mickey Rourke brought that kind of like, I don't know how to do this. When he went into the normal life, there's just he believed that it didn't suit him, and that's what I liked with that kind of story. He kind of got in the rhythm of it. You know, he's like, yeah, I'm doing well, but once the whole thing with his daughter, it's not that he couldn't do it. He could do it, but the whole thing with his daughter kind of just fucked him up from normal life, and so he couldn't. He thought he couldn't do it, but he could have. And he was so far behind in the games. He still has a Nintendo. Not a Wii. It's I don't know what, can't remember what console it was. Please spam out, and the kid's like, hey, forget that kid, no kid. A kid apparently sounds like a 70-year-old man who's still smoking. It's like, hey, have you seen a new Call of Duty? Call what? Call of Duty? Call what? Call of Duty? Call what? Yeah. Close to the script. But yeah, it is, seriously, it's amazing. And if you haven't seen it, it's a very good film. I would recommend that you watch it. Heavily recommend. Out of a score of 619, because it's a finisher in wrestling, get it? I'll give it a 593 out of a 619. Yeah. But yeah, watch it. Seriously, I am telling you to watch it. It's really fucking good. Even if you're not a fan of wrestling, you can still watch it, because you can. Just like, if you don't want to be wrestling, pictures of any other sport, an old man playing football, an old man playing American rugby, an old man playing baseball or whatever, you know. You don't have to just picture it as a different thing. Yeah. So, also WWE fans, you will recognize two people out of this film. If you're a WWE fan, of course, you'll recognize Cesaro, the Swiss Superman, and R-Truth. What's up? That guy. Yeah. So, spoiler alert from here. Usually I don't. Oh, shouldn't have done that. So if you don't want to hear, if you haven't seen the film and you want to watch it off the video, you have seen it, go ahead, watch from here on. If you haven't seen it, and either you do or you don't want to watch it, and you don't give a shit about spoilers, stay. At the end, we'll talk about the build-up to the lead act, the final act, which is a wrestling match, which he decides to do. As I said earlier on, the ending to this film is extremely ambiguous, because, albeit, the chances were he would have died if he had wrestled the game. If you watch the final bit, you can see he's putting he's struggling, he's going a wee bit dizzy-headed and blurry. But that's not saying he will die. I mean, people can just have those moments where it's just like, okay, alright. And their body can let them slide for this one. It could have happened, he could have died. because what you see is you see him doing this finisher, which is like sort of, suppose it's, then jumping like that or something off the top rope. So he does that, and then what happens there is it keeps on the spot of where he once was, which is the top of the ropes. So you just see the crowd going. And yeah, it's just that. I don't know, here's the crowd noises. You don't know if he died, obviously, because it's an ambiguous ending. It annoys me because I don't like ambiguous endings, but at the same time, sometimes they're better for films. But yeah, I watched it. I've watched it a few times. I rewatched it there because it's on Netflix for any UK fans. I'm sure it's on American one, because why the fuck would it not be? But yeah, first time I never watched it, I never really had a big love for films. Second time, I knew, because my love was gradually getting there, and then now, as like the third or fourth time watching it, it all makes sense. Pardon me, sorry about that. Dismint. But yes, ambiguous ending. 593 out of 619. Yeah. Very good film. Mickey Rourke deserved to be nominated for the Oscar that he got. No, he never won. He got nominated, I think. I don't think he won. But yeah, if you haven't seen Wrestler, I really recommend that you watch it because it is fantastic. Not just the acting, not just the storytelling, everything. Yeah. So, yeah, The Wrestler, 583 to 619. Watch it. It never ended. Of course it didn't. Why would it not end?